Welcome on into another edition of Smart Chat here on YouTube.com. I hope all is well, and I thank you for taking the time to look at this video. I do want to do an NBA video here for you, kind of my 2016-2017 Brooklyn Nets. Big Brooklyn Net fan, all three of us here. And you know, after the Nets traded Thaddeus Young, you know, to gain a couple of draft picks, it was clear that the general manager, Sean Marks, was kind of rebuilding from the ground up. Coming over from San Antonio with the pedigree, working under Pop. You kind of have faith, or at least I do, in Sean Marks. He had a lot of youth, but he also picked up, I think, the right amount of veteran presence to help the youth grow. Last year, the Nets, you know, had guys like Brook Lopez, you had Young, you had veterans like other veterans like Jared Jack, Andrea Bargnani, Joe Johnson. Jack was out for most of the year. Bargnani was averaging the worst numbers of his career, and Johnson was really never living up to that hefty contract that he had. And then because of that, the Nets won only 21 games. So you say to yourself, can it be any worse being a Brooklyn Net fan? Well, I think we're going to have to suffer a couple more years until everything pans out and we start winning again. It's going to take a while, this rebuilding, but you have to have patience after pretty much what we gambled on, you know, bringing in Garnett, Pierce to go for that championship, and it didn't work out. You know, in the offseason, they acquired Jeremy Lin. Jeremy Lin, who's been in the NBA now 6 years. 5 years ago, he played with the New York Knicks, so he knows how it is to play in the New York market. How can you forget about insanity? He's going to have a different role here in Brooklyn. He's considered old if you look at it, because he's older than half of the roster on the Nets right now. He's going to be the full-time point guard. Lin really was never per se full-time in the teams that he played. Sometimes he was like the sixth man off the bench. But over here, make no mistake about it, he's going to be the full-time point guard. And his job is going to be to, you know, to kind of usher and help Isaiah Whitehead develop into the NBA, transition into the NBA, and to run him the point, be a point guard, even though he was a shooting guard. I am aware of that. The Nets also acquired other veterans. You know, they acquired Randy Foyle, Trevor Booker, Luis Scola. Foyle, you know, he's at the end of his career. He's not going to be getting big minutes, but he has experience, and I think that will be crucial in the development of the shooting guards for Bogdanovic and Sean Kilpatrick. And one of those two will become the starter at the two, and both will, I think, benefit from Foyle being a seasoned vet there. Meanwhile, Booker, Scola are the front runners for the starting position at the power forward. They're both very different players. They both come from the proper background, I think, to perform well in the starting role. Both of them, I think, will play huge roles in helping Chris McCullough develop. The Nets are going to want McCullough in the starting lineup, but he has a ways to go before he could be a full-time starter. So really what it's going to come down to, it's just the veterans here and being successful, and for this season to be considered successful is for have these veterans to kind of help the young players gain some seasoning, gain some experience, and help them develop, help them improve from where they were last year. That's really what you look at. With a season like this, with the roster that they have, you basically look for improvements from last year's where these players were. It's going to be a long season, but I think when Marks, it's going to work out. The benefit's going to be worth the suffering we as Net fans will be having for the next couple of years. Hope all is well. Look forward to speaking to you soon.